Good morning. This is Torah Moments, and I'm the rabbi. And I'd like to talk to you about you. Just like I'm talking about you, I'm talking about me. But before we get started, here we go. We got the coffee, we got the J-Lee cookie, and notice the big chunks of chocolate. Yeah, I'm supposed to be on a diet, but this chocolate, this cookie, this is my day pleasure food. Okay? Comfort food, I guess it's a new word I should be using. 3, 2, 1. Don't leave it too long, especially a cookie that's good. You don't want to leave it too long. And then lose it. How to know who you are is the topic today. I'm going to tell you how to know who you are. First of all, in John chapter 1, it says he gave you the right. He gave you the right, okay, to be called the children of God. Okay? Sons and daughters of the Lord. And that's who we are. Okay? So, guess what? It's our privilege to serve him. Now, this morning, I want to tell you how to ascertain who you are and what your purpose could possibly be. So if you would, get out a pen and paper, and I'll give you just a moment to do it. And while you get out your pen and paper, I'm going to make my commercial. See my coffee cup? I like my coffee cup. A lot of people like my coffee cup. You like my coffee cup. And if you want a coffee cup like this, identical in every way, all you have to do is just click on the donate button, put $1 or more in, make sure there's a CV code, and make sure also equally that there is a hard address I can mail it to. That's right. A post box will accept it, your apartment, house, whatever, but I need a place to send it to. And once we get that information, and my dearest friend Veta, who actually oversees a lot of that, she'll give me the address and we'll be mailing it off to you quickly. But you know, a lot of people, they don't know what to do. They don't know who they are. They're kind of lost, like puppies with a lot of potential. And yet, they don't see their own potential. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to look at 3 different things today. Number 1, put your name at the top of the paper and tell me what your skills are. What educational skills you have. Some people have a computer, some are carpenters, some are plumbers, some are dishwashers, some are cooks. I mean, yes, even if you think it's just a mediocre skill, make sure you put it down. I'll tell you right now, mediocre speaking, I'm a mediocre cook. But nevertheless, I can do a few things well. And I like barbecuing. I can play the guitar. Not great, but good enough. And I'm a carpenter and a builder. I'm an idea guy. Okay? And these are some of the skills I picked up along the way. Now that you've got your skills down there, make another heading. And on this heading, put your talents. Talents are things that you're born with, things that are natural to you. Some people are artists. Some people are singers. Some people really are musicians. Some people really are thinkers, problem solvers, or compassionate. They're caretakers. Okay? Whatever your gifts, your talents are. Okay? We'll come to gifts in a moment. So we got skills. Now we got talents. And among some of my talents is I'm quite charming. Have you not noticed? R. I tell you what, I wasn't born charming, so I really can't put that down. I was born to be a pain in the tuchus. Anyway, coffee. But everyone has talents, even though they're real small. Like me, I'm a mediocre guitar player, but yet it still pleases God to use my mediocre skills. And in some cases have bypassed those far more skilled, talented than I am. But it pleases him to use what I have. So, Next thing you'll put down is spiritual gifts. Are you a discerning individual? Have you known any of the gifts from the book of Corinthians, chapter 12? Prophecy, wisdom, knowledge, unknown languages, interpretation of unknown languages. Okay, discerning of spirits, healing. If you've experienced those type of spiritual gifts, which also include the gift of helps, another place in Corinthians, then you need to put all those things down, things that you really feel God has called you to. If you've been called to ministry, God's made you a teacher, okay? That's a calling, that's a gift. Okay. Now you got some of those things written down. I'm going to read to you from Psalms 139, starting verse 13. For you created my innermost being. You knitted me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know the full well my frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. Let me tell you what it means. It means that you are unique and wonderful. And the combination of your gifts, your talents, your skills, and your graces. By the way, what's a grace? We didn't put those down yet, did we? A grace is a measure of compassion that you have for a particular group of people. Some, their compassion is toward disabled veterans or special needs children or elderly people. Or you have a real compassion, okay, for kids, teenagers, whatever it is, okay? So if you would, put that down. And by the way, under skills or whatever, make sure if you speak foreign languages, those are in your list also. Even if you're not very good, okay? So when we look at this list that you just compiled of gifts and talents and graces and skills and so on and so forth, okay? Now we recognize that this is the gestalt, the sum total of who you are. And not one piece is there by mistake. Everything is there by God's gift. And so when I want to know who I am, I got to look at what he made me to be. And I might not be able to say, I am a genius, but I might not be able to say, I'm a genius or I'm an artist with any real emotional or personal confidence. But what I can say, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. And what God made me to be was all these things. Now, what do you do with this information? That's the real question. What are you going to do with the information of your gifts, your talents, your skills, your graces? Okay? What are you going to do? I tell you what you should do. You should go to your pastor. You should go to your priest. You should go to your rabbi and take your list with you and say, pastor, rabbi, priest, whoever, okay, this is who I am. This is who God made me be. How can I, with these things, serve in the house of God? How can I do this? Because I tell you what, knowing one thing and doing it is another. People can go through nursing school for years and make great grades, but they're not a nurse until they nurse. They're not a doctor until they do doctor stuff, okay? They're not a rabbi until they do rabbi stuff. You're not a painter until you pick up the brush. You know what I mean? Look at what you are, what God has created you to be, and operate and live inside of that. Some of us, God made very pretty. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm kidding, right? I'm joking. I can look in the mirror and tell the truth. Okay. But the thing is, whatever God made you to be, then be it. Okay? Don't hide behind other things. I think of men going through midlife crises. You know what? Men in 50s and 60s, and some even 70 years of age. They try to do stuff that is just not them. Take the guy. Now, I own a sports car, but it's not a midlife crisis thing. But they'll go out and get themselves a nice convertible, a silk shirt down here, hair's all puffy out, and like a gold cross or Star of David or some medallion hanging there in the midst of all that hair and the silk shirt, driving the sports car, thinking they're a chick magnet. What's wrong with these guys? That's not who God made you to be, And ladies, I tell you what, you don't need all that makeup. You really don't. Because your inner beauty is what really shines. So don't be afraid to reveal your real self. It's amazing. It is. And yes, sometimes we search for ourselves, and that's not all bad. See my hair? I got a haircut. This is the shortest my hair has been since I was 14 years old. You know how long that is? That's a long time. 59 years. Anyway, it's a long time. But yet, at my age, I don't want to be pulling my hairs out every time I go to brush it or brush my beard accordingly. So I have to accept who I am. I am not the young Studley, though I still have the guns. Come on, work with me, folks. I am still an older man. Not as fast, but smarter. And that's how God made us, to mature. So here's what I'm getting at today. God, well, first of all, he loves you and he formed you. And as the psalmist said, which was King David, it says, he knew me before I spent my first day. I've heard people say, God has a wonderful plan for your life. He really does. It's not a joke. The only thing is I have to be willing to live and operate with inside that plan. I need to live and operate inside the things he's called me to do. And not all of them are pleasant, by the way. King David said, I'll walk through the valleys and shadows of death. Who wants to do that? I sure don't. But God called him to, and he did it. And when he came out the other side, his goodness and mercy followed him all the days of his life. Don't be afraid to be who you are. Really who you are. So guys, take off that silk t-shirt and put on flannel. It's far more comfortable. And keep the convertible, but don't think you're a chick magnet. And by the way, guys, button the shirt up. No one wants to see all that hair. Okay? And ladies, a little less makeup. Reveal your true beauty, your inner self. When we do these things, then our light will shine before men. They'll see the good works, and they'll praise our Father in heaven. Not you. Yeah, if you get a compliment, that's nice. But they'll praise your Father in heaven because of you. And Romans chapter 8 says, and the whole world waits in eager expectation for the sons, and that's generic, men and women, for the sons of God to be revealed. That's us. So, be the person you were created to be. You might see yourself as not being very flattering or very special, but you are. You are. You might not make a big splash in the world, but a splash you will make in the lives of people around you. When I'm dead and gone, 5 years after I'm in the ground, no one's going to remember my name, but the effect of my life, like yours, will go on. It's like a stone in the pond, and the ripples and the ripples and the ripples go on until at some point no one even remembers where the original stone went in. That's okay. Make some ripples. Be yourself. All right? Well, with that said and done, let me tell you that you still have a blessing to come. And don't forget, hit the share button and hit the like and the follow button. And if you're on YouTube, the subscribe. We need to grow this thing so we can reach other people. So anyway, you got the idea. So I'm going to sip my coffee from my favorite cup. But you can have one. And now it's time for your blessing. Now may the Lord bless you and keep you and cause his face to shine upon you. May the Lord be gracious unto you and lift up his countenance to you, and may he give you peace. Lord our God, King of the verse, help your people to be exactly what you created them to be, fearfully, wonderfully made, and equipped for good service. Amen.